Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of the Telos Buzz. We are here live on YouTube. We got Thomas, we got Evan. Evan, how are you doing this amazing Monday morning? What's up?
Hey, Thomas, it's so good to be here with you. And also, really excitingly, we have a guest joining us for this Monday, rare Monday guest, and he's a really good one.
Yeah.
Y'all should be familiar with him by now. It's the Big Gooey himself. We're gonna learn how to vote for Mission NFT, which is very near and dear to my heart, as we'll get to over the stream. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys. Guys, let us know in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you're feeling about Mission NFT. We want to hear it all. Mission NFT is really, voting has been going on it opened yesterday. So this is the second official day of voting. So super exciting, still early on. Lots to see where it's going to go from here. Let's take a look at the comments, see how we got people tuning in. We've got one of the Apex ambassadors, Tushik, in the chat here. How's it going? We got Gigi. We got the Big Gooey himself. He's waiting in the green room right now. We'll bring him on in a second. We got Shifra here. Nice to see you, Shifra. And we've got someone here from Puerto Rico. Nice to see you as well. We have BCB here from
We've got
Thailand.
a Tylosian.
True. Yeah, it's great to see you guys. We're really excited to talk Mission NFT with the Big Gooey. So let's bring him on. Let's see what's up and have him on the show. So welcome,
Let's
Gooey.
Go. Let's
good
go.
to see you.
Hey,
How's it
welcome,
going?
Gooey. Thanks so much for
I'm
joining
good,
us.
man. How you boys doing on this beautiful Monday morning?
Honestly, great. I mean, I spent the weekend camping and getting my NFT collection on Mission NFT, so it's been a both stressful and relaxing week. So
That's right, man.
I'm ready to get back to it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's actually it's really
you know,
exciting.
it's so funny. I feel like there's such an inversion here where it's like, most people when they get up and start their Mondays, it's like, oh, here comes the Monday. But in crypto, it's like, no, like I got so much work to do. I can't wait to get at it. And like I was up bright and early, trying to clear the things off my desk so we can keep moving. So let's go.
I love it. Okay, and also, yeah, Shifra says G Freeman is their partner in life, and Telos Aquari. We got, I guess, both halves. I don't know how many parts there are to it, but welcome both of you guys, and welcome everyone else as well. And of course, Gooey, thanks so much for joining us. And what can you tell us about voting for Mission NFT? How can someone cast their vote using Taikai?
Okay, so voting is open. Did I shared the link with you guys there? Hey.
Oh yeah, let post that. Why don't you walk through? Tell us about that. We'll post links as we go.
Yeah. So what you want to do is what you have to do is redeem a voucher first here. So what I want you to do is the boys are going to post a link here, and that's going to go directly to what the voucher is for how to claim your tokens to vote. So and is that up in the chat there, boys?
Let me get it up.
Not yet.
Yeah, just make
There
sure.
we go. We're live.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is click on that, and if you'll have to make a Taikai account. So the reason for this is that we didn't want to have it all botted out so that you couldn't, a million people could vote. Because I've been in a few contests where that happens and it's not much fun. So if you click on that, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to claim basically what is 100 Kai, or the voting kind of thing that they use on Taikai. So you're going to have to hit redeem, and then I believe it's a phone number, which basically lets you collect them. And then once you have that, you go to your profile within Taikai, and up in the top right, you should see a little emblem that says K, and it'll like resemble the tokens that you have there. So maybe I'll just give you a sec if anybody's trying it. Again, it's going to be, I think it's like a yellow kind of symbol around it, if I recall. Let me look it up while I'm at my computer here. And if it's in there, there should be an emblem next to it. So if you've done that correctly, what you're going to then do is it's going to say, if you go to Mission NFT and then go to projects page, go nice and slow here. it's going to say add to voting cart. So this is where it gets maybe a little complicated for people. So once you have your Kai in your wallet, after you've verified and redeemed your tokens, you're going to click on add to voting cart. So it's what's going to happen is it's going to prompt and say, it's almost, think of it like an Amazon order where you've got 100 tokens or $100 and you allocate it to the projects however you like. So just keep in mind that you only have 100. So what I did is I went through and I gave 5 projects 20 tokens. So what you do is look and read through the projects that you like and the ones that you want to allocate tokens to. It can be of all varied, you could give 1 to one, you could give 5 to another, you could give 100 to just one. But remember, you only have 100 tokens to work with. So as you move through, if say you prompt the first window and you want to vote for a project, say 20, and then hit add to cart, and it'll add it there. And then when you look up in the top right there, it should say in your little K symbol, it should prompt a notification there. And when you click on it, it shows you what's in your cart and how much balance you have, and that to proceed to the checkout. So I believe you can only do this transaction once. So just go through it slowly and only proceed to checkout when it looks like, you've got the projects that you like. I would maybe write out on paper first how you want to vote it, just as kind of like maybe you're going to move some numbers around. Depends how in depth you want to go. But I'm going to try and have a video. I'm really apologize because a lot of things kind of stacked up that kind of push this behind schedule for me, but I want to have a video out that kind of explains that. Yeah, you got it up on the site there. So if you just go add to cart.
Let's try that out now. So let's say I've got a project here, a very good project, the Defenders of Telos. I like what they're doing.
That's right.
So let's go through.
Oh man, who made that one? Huh. This is a plug. That's my project, everyone watching. So if you want to support me personally, there's that. And also, guess what? Telos Culture has their own project on there too. So double plugs, double wins.
So then if you go up to the top now and the Kai symbol, it'll say total allocated. So you can keep going around and then basically you proceed to the checkout at the end. And then it just basically is a second verification that that's how you want to spend it. So every participant that signs up gets 100 tokens, and you only get 1 per phone number. So, I guess if you've got 10 phones, you could vote 10 times if you want. But I hope that's not the case. So, get out there. You can also look at the leaderboard, which if you go up to the top there on the page.
Yep. Let's go. Leaderboard. There it is.
Is it Evan? Are you on the screen right now? Yeah, up at the top. If you click on leaderboard.
Here we go. There it is.
Oh, sorry, I'm watching it on YouTube here while you do it. Yeah, so you can see who's in the lead. So
all right, we got the leaderboard up here.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. Actually, it's fun to look at where things are at on this early stages of the project. Kind of get an idea of which communities might be the most active or who's got the most. It probably does have a lot to do with social media outreach and things like that at this point, is my guess.
Well, and it's still very early, guys. Like this goes till the 30th, and I mean, it's just the fact that if you've got, like, I was thinking about it, if I had a project in this, and I feel like I've built a little bit of a community around my art, so it's like I would be hitting up every single person that has ever bought my art and being like, hey, if you vote for me, like that would be a huge solid. Because I think it's like if you just get 10 people to vote for you and allocate all the tokens, you can get popping here, or you can be more generous and distribute them, and maybe even make a bit of a coalition amongst other collections too. The sky is really the limit on how you want to approach it. I really invite you guys to be creative, and really engage with the side of the community where this is where it counts, and really lean on, maybe what's the utility of your collection, or what's it going to do for holders to really incentivize them to be like, hey, I'm going to throw them some votes. So
yeah, I noticed actually, A, I can't vote for myself, which is good, and B, the creator of Mochi NFT accounts for more than half of my votes right now. So I'm like, aw, thanks, other creator. Like it's
Let's
so
go.
nice when you're being supported by other NFT artists, and it's kind of cool that you
Well, and
can
I think,
see,
yeah, I think that the great community we already have within the NFT sector here, I really hope that, there's some love passed around, because that's very much the vibe I get from, the people I interact with here. So
Yeah, anyone in the chat want to shout out or plug any of their projects or any of their favorites? I noticed some maybe beating around the bush there, I guess. But
Yeah,
if you have a
let's see some
project, please
comments.
shout
Yeah.
it out. Don't worry about it. We're
go
happy to plug
OG
you.
Dem Ducks. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
We got
right.
Chief saying that the ducks are looking super fire, so go check those out. Azuki on Telos here. Yeah, here's Mochi saying that that they voted for Telosia. Very
Thanks,
nice. Yeah,
Mochi.
guys, let us know the projects that you think are super cool. Yeah, please. We got
Well,
someone plugging Talon
we had
too. Which is a super
we
cool
had
project.
Telland on for an AMA on, I guess that was Friday last week, and they sold like 25 NFTs right after the
Wow.
AMA. It was so wonderful. So I think it just really shows, like, when we showcase what it is we're doing here, and now we've got a ton of projects that are building here. It's like, I think this is kind of like, for me, really feels like the spark to, let's get going. We've built all the infrastructure to really support this. I feel, and um, I think this is going to be a success. I really do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is
and
honestly so hard to choose who to vote for in this list. Like I'm trying to choose 10, just break it up into 10 chunks of 10 because that's already hard enough choosing just 10. Like I don't know how you're gonna do it in the jury. I don't envy you, Gooey.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. That's for sure.
Mm,
But I like the public voting element of it, right? Because I think it really forces, the projects to really lean into their communities, and two, really, like, if you can't get the votes, then maybe you should go back to the drawing board, right? Like, I don't want this to be like a give up and quit, but I want this to also be a bit of a learning curve, where it's like, I've definitely had times when I submitted a contest and I thought I'd do better than I did, but there's a lot of lessons in the I don't want to say failures, but, like, obviously every time you do this, there's something to be learned. And I'm a big fan of, at the end of this, reaching back out to the community and being like, what worked, what didn't, like, I think that it's such an iterative process, and this is the first of its kind of contest that, I think that people have really staked, a lot on their rep to, like, build on a smaller chain like Telos, and I really want to reward that, in that it's like, I feel like I've been a steward to the environment, but I very much want those voices telling me what they want as well. So that's super cool part of this whole. We're going to go through the whole contest, and there'll be winners and all that, but there's still work to be done afterwards that I'm still super excited about too. So
yeah, yeah. It is so incredible, like the community here, and yeah, this is definitely going to be a success. I think you're running a very cool competition, Gooey. I think you should be proud.
yeah, and you're really creating that community too that is learning from each other and supporting each other. It's like, even in the comments here, we got lots of people shouting out other projects. But as you say, like it's all part of that learning process to see what works, see what doesn't work,
Mhm.
experiment, take chances, make mistakes, and do that while being supported by other creatives, other people who are building too and are supporting you. So yeah, it's a great space to be in. And it's
Yeah.
only day two. There's still
Yeah,
lots of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
building, lots of community building to go from here. So it's
You
awesome
know, it's
stuff.
so hard not to just shout them all out. Like I noticed like a lot of them are getting individual
Right?
shout outs. It's just like, how can you not acknowledge basically all of them? They're all trying to do
Yeah.
unique things. Most of them are have like ESG angles and you know, all of them are just incredible, great art and from a cool collection, like a great community. We want to
Hmm.
just shout out, let's see, Flirty's here, Mystery of Croco Island, of course, Mochi NFT. Thanks for the support. And Wayne Shepherd, always Wayne Shepherd.
Wayne, shout out to Wayne. That's right. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I think is, like, so wonderful, and I really like. I'm finding the energy is just recycling back into itself. I met with Ed3 educators last week. I don't know if any of you caught that, but they're a group of educators that have kind of been blowing my mind a little bit. And one of their processes was called building in public, and it's basically being very, like, public with how you're designing or building in the space so that basically you demystify it and show people that it's not like, we're behind a mirror, brewing in a bathtub or something, right? So what happened on Saturday was I meant to have the voting in place and ready to go, but I made the folly of making it open on the weekend when I couldn't contact Taikai just to make sure. And so that was totally on me to be like, well, I think next time I'll do it midweek or beginning of the week so that there's no lag or very little. But when I brought it to the community and just said, look, like, this is my gaffe. I hope you guys understand. Like, the fact that I built this community to be very like humble and graceful and fun, like it was just so wonderful for them to be like, you know what, no worries, like just let us know when it's up. So it's like I love that it's like when you build those communities where FUD, that's an easy thing to FUD on, right? It's like, oh, Telos is dropping the ball. But I think it's just like it's a condition of building in this environment, right? Is not everything goes smoothly. And it's about dedicating and staying true to like if there's a hiccup, we ride with it and we go and we build from it, and we're all the better because it just like is like there's nobody's untouchable from error or oversight, right? Like I just love that aspect of what Web3 can do here.
Yeah, totally. And to build that space where exactly as you're saying, like people can support each other through that. We can understand that everyone, like we're all learning this together. Like all of us are on this journey of coming into the Web3 space and learning it and taking it by the horns. That takes a lot of learning. It takes a lot of figuring things out, and a lot of that we can do when we support each other and we're there together. So it's amazing to see that the Mission NFT community is so strong right off the bat, and they're so supportive of you, who in turn is probably one of the most like supportive people in the Telos NFT ecosystem. Which we've got Shifa here saying too. Shifa is let me bring that up here. Shifa just so kind and supportive, and that's really all there is to it.
I feel like that GIF of Anakin when he's getting the pod racer going. He's like, "It's working! It's working!"
Totally, I see that. That was. I mean, I want to say that too. Well, not exactly that, but just on the lines of how we're always learning things, especially in this, and this competition has been a great learning experience for myself, and I'm sure a number of the other participants. It reminds me a little bit, honestly, like it's been a while since I've been in school, but like it's like a deadline for a project. So in that way, it's reminiscent, and having something kind of forcing your hand almost and saying like, look, you might not be done, but like just get it out there. The due date is now. So like I'm packing for camping and like getting ready to go into the woods, and in some cases I was in the woods like doing this on my data, like, oh, I forgot to write about this or answer that question, or going over the rules again and again, making sure you're doing everything correctly. There's just so many things that takeaways that you're like, well, it seems maybe obvious in hindsight or even in foresight, but you're just not always able to like get the social media accounts up and running and constantly post.
There's a lot, right?
There's so much to it. Yeah.
NFT. It's I think that's like something I hope rises. And I got to shout you out, Evan, because you had you read the assignment and you sent me the submission exactly like I asked for. I loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was so easy to do that. But I
5 years of college, man. I get it.
Yeah. I used to write 10,000 word essays.
Jeez, yeah, but it was funny doing all that in the woods. It just felt very like intuitive, like whatever.
Sure.
But great. And you'll notice too, I'm sorry to interrupt, I just want to say you'll notice my video for my competition is in a field because I was on the way back to the city and I'm like, oh, the competition's closing before I'll be home. So I was like, this field's full of like, it's a wind farm, right? So I'm like, this is kind of on brand. Like, I'll just pull over here, shoot the thing, upload it. So yeah, that's why the production quality of the video is so low. But hey,
and
we got it out there.
It's important that it's like this is the fun process, is building this whole thing, right? And I think that I really want to capture that energy that it's like you're never really done, and there's never really a perfect project to launch, and you just either gotta piss or get off the pot, excuse my language. And I think it's like in that momentum of starting and doing it, you prompt yourself to learn more things that come along with the craft. And I hope that, and I've endeavored that it's like I've kind of put the resources there that it's like when you take that next step, it's like you don't have to go scour Twitter or some GitHub somewhere, and it's like, oh, it's actually just on the resource page, um, or even sharing the experiences that maybe I haven't gotten to yet. And I think it's just like really that, the more I think about short circuiting each other's mistakes so we don't make them, like we're just gonna like, it's like hitting that NOS button, right? Like Fast and the Furious, the first film, right? Like it's go
Yeah.
time. So I think it's like, I don't know, there's just so much like synergy between the communities that I've been kind of playing with and building with. And I think it's just kind of, it's hard not to be excited and full of optimism when it's like, everybody talks about even this like bear market, bull market thing. And I feel like I've just really tried to strip myself of the financial aspect and really look at it as one, an art form, and two, a new medium. And it's really hard to ignore what all of this means on a broader scale. And I think it's so much fun to figure out the artistic component as a community together like this. Like
Yeah.
it's such a rare opportunity. It's like, this never happened on Ethereum. This never happened on Solana. And there, is this really cool ability for us to shape what happens next as we grow. And I think that, the early builders and the people who've been here to stick it out have a really impactful voice. Like, when we were talking to Tellan the other day, and it's like I've known Paul for a long time. He was probably here before I was, especially in the NFT side. And just to see how he's grown as an NFT creator and artist up to this like master stroke of turning NFTs into like real world implications and the backflow of the sales of the fruition of the land back to the holders. Like it's hard not to be in awe of how much he's accomplished in less than a year, really. So I'm bullish on the people they're building here, and like market conditions aside, like the energy doesn't seem to be dissipating from when things were good and from when they're bad. So I love that about Telos.
Yeah, I think you made a great point. You said the word synergy and it just clicked. I was like, that's what this competition is all about. Like, as much as feasibly I should be looking at all these other NFTs as my competition, but really we're all synergistically supporting each other. Like, I'm bringing anyone from my community to see Mission NFT, and they're bringing everyone from their communities to see Mission NFT. Like, all eyes are here. And of course, Telos, like the Telos Foundation and you and your community, the synergies are just working, and it's like creating a lot of hype for a lot of things. I think too, that's an important point to make when you're looking at the votes and the whatever. Maybe you have a project on here and it's it's day 2, so it doesn't really matter if it's not doing too well yet. But the point is eyes are on it. People are seeing it, and everyone
Exactly.
in Telos is coming here to see what's going on. Like, it's just a very fun and cool opportunity. And I think too, this is on a slightly side note to that, but just one of the big takeaways for me here, I think, was like, I'm someone who has a hard time finishing things in the first place, and B, I'm hard on myself about the quality of work. So I'll be like, oh, it's not good enough. It's not done. I can't share it yet. It's hard to like put yourself out there and start sharing your work. But again, being kind of forced to, and B, realizing too, like, if I waited till I was done to start a Twitter or to start talking about this even, then like, who's gonna buy them when they're being sold? Because it's like, you can wait until the day you're ready to mint, but then what? Like, you're gonna do all that work afterwards. So no,
Yeah,
I
dude.
really
If I
appreciate
had a penny for
you know,
every collection that didn't make it to market, I'd be a millionaire.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's like, I think it's like you have to learn to really balance all of those things together, right? Because it's like I think I learned really quickly that it's like to go from a one-of-one artist into a generative collection, like you scale a lot harder, a lot faster, and it's a totally different way to conceptualize the project. So there's so many approaches, and I feel really fortunate that I've got a bit of experience in all of them. But I'm still really working on where was I going with that thought? Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Just while you're thinking about it, I just wanted to say I'm kind of treating this voting process like, you know I'm not buying the NFTs yet, but I'm kind of pretending like I am. I'm like, oh, which ones here do you want? Like, if you could pick 10, like I said, I'm breaking mine into 10 10s, but maybe it's 5 20s or whatever. Yeah, if you could just have however many NFTs, which ones would you choose? And it's so hard to pick. It's too many good projects.
Well,
You
and
start breaking
it's
it into
interesting.
20, and yeah.
The really interesting part is when the emotionality takes hold and you buy an NFT and you're really attached to it. And what's really interesting is, like, I've experienced where I've sold NFTs and they're really meaningful to people, and those implications where you didn't really think about in the creation, it's like, you're always thinking about making it and trying to sell it, but as soon as it's out there and people have an emotional attachment to it, the fun really begins. And that's really like when these whole things take on a life of their own, right? Like, communities will look at certain subtypes within the clothing and start little groups around them. Like, I'm in a group of, like, a very niche, like, asset in the collection. So it's really wild what happens when you just set something free and let a community build around it. So I really hope that, like, a lot of people get to enjoy the really, I don't know, there's so much improvising that has to happen in being a creator and being in crypto, that, like, it's not a bad skill to flex, and if you're not very good at it, to just, like, let it enter your workflow a little bit, because I think that some really, like, unintended consequences can come from leaving a space open to, like, not know how to totally solve a problem. And maybe to your point, Evan, is like, when you have a deadline, that's kind of when I get most creative with getting my work finished, and not, working smart and not hard. So I think that, like, if you're just endeavoring to really be a better creator, or developer, or whatever in this space, and you're participating in this contest, I think there's a lot that can be gleaned from every layer of your participation, from creating all the way up to building that community, to trying to engage in the vote, so that I think that really might be a good indicator for some people, that it's like, if you're not in the top 20, it's not game over, but it's like, what part of this process could you evaluate for next time you do this? Because maybe next time you don't do it through a contest and you do it personally, but you've learned some lessons of how to market, how to engage with an audience. Like, I don't want this to be, like I was saying earlier, game over for people. I want this to be, oh, if you didn't win, then, like, let's do a post-mortem on maybe why, or some, what is it that wasn't clear. Like, I like that back and forth dialogue that we can start having.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I think the answer, if anyone doesn't win, is simply, like, tough competition. Like, and who knows, there's also going to be projects probably with huge communities who are supporting them, and that's fair too. I mean, that's equally tough competition. So yeah, I think this is going to be a learning experience. Like, I'm so excited to see how this evolves over the coming weeks. And if anyone has any questions for Gooey while we're here, we're coming, I think, to the end of our show. It's been almost half an hour. So if you have any questions about Mission NFT, how to vote, this is your chance. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, Gooey. It's like,
oh, dude,
always
it's always so easy to get carried away with you guys.
Yeah, truly.
Oh, yeah. And guys, we've dropped a link actually to the Mission NFT Telegram, which is a great place to meet with those other creators, to have those discussions about, what's going well, what we could improve on with our own projects, with with procedures and everything. So go and check it out. Go check out that. It's a great community they've got there. You can find Gooey in there, and a lot of people who are submitted to Mission NFT as well. It's a pretty bumping place. So go check it out. And yeah, let me see if there's any other notes. I also dropped earlier a link to a Medium article that shows you everything you need about going through and how to vote on Taikai. But Gooey said you'll have a video coming out as soon as you can about coming out.
Well, and you showed really, really clearly there too when we were going through it, kind of the voting process. So just make sure that like if you get to the a point, maybe take a screenshot and send it in the Mission NFT Telegram, and that's good, and help out right now until the videos.
All right. Shot and send it your way ASAP.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, could you drop the link to that Telegram chat, Mochi? What's it called?
Oh, that's the one that's the Telegram chat, the Mission NFT one.
Oh, just the Mission NFT, and we just look up Mission NFT on Telegram.
Yeah,
then.
and vote for Telos Scouts too. Like we totally didn't even talk
check
about
it
that.
out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we got to be supporting like the platform and not ourselves.
I know, but
you
like,
have to though.
I'm
sorry, you have to check out the video.
Yeah, if you want to start your Monday out right, guys, like please watch the Telos Scout video, because I was in stitches the first time I saw it, and it's a really great just kind of discussion afterwards about talking about it. I was in Cubs, I think, so like this is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and I
was a Cub Scout too.
And I think that the idea of interacting with others in a less isolated way to learn about Web3 and have like a guided experience or a learning experience, like that's so valuable. And so yeah, make sure you guys are voting for Telos Scouts. It's like that's I hope I get to be an honorary camp counselor or something.
Oh, you will be right up there.
You definitely are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for
the cool cafeteria guy. That's what I'll be.
Yeah. In that crazy purple mask of yours.
That's great.
Oh, thank you everyone for joining us. We've got Liam here in the chat closing things off. Join us on Friday. Who's our guest, Thomas?
We are actually going to be having, it's going to be a great time. We're going to be having Shifra from Telos Aquari coming on and telling us all about their ESG project and what it's doing in Puerto Rico. So that's going to be an awesome show coming up this Friday, same time, same place, right here on YouTube. Go and check it out. It's going to be a real exciting show. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Gooey, it's been a pleasure having you. Evan, it's been great chatting with you, and I'm so pumped that you got your project out. Huge congratulations, man. It's amazing to see. Guys, remember, go and cast your vote for the Mission NFT. All the projects on there, you can follow along with those guides that we send. You can join in the Mission NFT Telegram to get all the steps that you need and join a great community of artists. So go and check that out. And guys, have a great rest of your day. Oh, and subscribe to Telos Culture. Forgot to do the almost self-plug there. Exactly. Click the little bell so you always know when we go live. If you really, really like the work that we do, go and consider voting for us as a BP. We're racking up the votes. We're getting pretty close to being standby. So it's been awesome to see your support. We need a little bit more of it. But guys, we will see you on Friday. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all later. Take it easy, y'all. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Let's go.
Thanks, Gooey.